Hello guys, welcome to our channel. I'm very proud about our project. I hope that could help you a lot to learn this international language that's quite difficult for the most of people that I know. Well, with the channel, I would like to invite you to face the challenge that it's to learning this language, this international language, so difficult to the most of people that I know that comes to me, André, please help me. I need your help to face this. It's quite difficult, quite hard. I don't know what to do. Well, the first challenge for us is to answer the questions. And the first question that came to us was, I cannot learn this language. Why? Why can't I learn this language at all? Well, first of all, I have a good news for you. The news is the fault. It's not your fault. You know, you're not guilty 100%. Why I'm doing this, why I'm saying this, that's quite important you understand that. You're not 100% guilt because of this, because there are some different things, some different elements that have to combine for anyone get the learning. I mean, every single person has his own way to learn the things. I mean, the intelligence style, the intelligence learning, you know, the way you used to learn, if you're writing, if you used to drawing, when you're studying, you used to draw, you know, there are different kind of style, there are different ways of learning things, there are different ways of intelligence. And this way, this approach, have to combine it with the methods of the courses. If it's combined, it's getting the harmony, that's okay. You learn this language using that method, use that course. But the problem is, most of the time, it's not combined. You have to push yourself to adopt your way of learning, your way of thinking to the courses, and then you try to get the ideas, to get the knowledge that is necessary for the skills and stuff, you know. So the first difficult, it's combine your intelligence, your way of learning to the courses. Most of the time it's very difficult the courses adapt to you, you know. It's more, I mean, impossible or rare, you know. Often the things that's more common to happen is you have to get by yourself, you know. You have to face this and you have to push yourself and adapt your way of learning to the courses. One conception, one thing that could help us to understand this process is exactly the curve of learning. This curve of learning is a kind of description of the process of learning anything. If anyone tries to learn anything, it's the same process, you know. It's a kind of curve like the Nike, the schwa of Nike. 0, 1, 2, 3, you know. 0 is when you don't know what you don't know, how much information, how much knowledge you don't have notion how much things you have to face, you know. You don't know what you don't know. That's the first one. The second one is the most important one. Why? It's when you get the notion how much information you don't know, how much things you don't know. So in the second step is the most important, because most of people used to give up, you know. You can't give up. You have to push yourself. You have to seek other strategies, seek other ways to get face this wall, you know. You have to get helps to help you to break this wall. Is the second step. Why is this so difficult? Because you get the notion how much things you have to face, you know. You have this notion. In this notion, sometimes people used to get fear, get afraid about it. Oh man, it's so much difficult for me. It's not for me. I give up. don't do this. Push yourself. There are a lot of different ways, different tools that could help you on the web. You just to find out, just to get help. And this channel is one of this tool for you. You know, it's one of the way to face this problem is exactly this channel. One detail that I forgot to tell you at the beginning is, as a channel of studying, as a channel of learning a language, please give your like, you know, share, comment, you know, sign in our channel, because we need this to manager to go on with our project. Okay, well, in order to understand this curve better, I have to get a kind of example. When you want to play guitar, the zero is I don't know play guitar. I don't have idea how can I do to play this instrument. And you see some people, you see someone playing that instrument, you see, oh, that could be easy. You don't have notion. You're in the zero of the curve, you know. And you take the instrument and you blah blah blah. You try it, you know, blah blah blah. Oh, that's quite easy. One day I'll learn this blah blah blah. You don't have a notion. The second step is when you start to learn guitar, example. When you start to learn this instrument, you get the notion how much difficult it is. You know, you have two hands, right one, left one. You have different things to do with both ones. You have you play with 3 fingers, but you have 6 strings. You know, it's too much information for your mind. So that's why most of people used to give up in this level. The third one is when you pass through this curve, you know, exactly when you change your direction, when you pass it through this curve, you get the notion, another kind of notion. You get the notion how much things you have to face forward, but you see that you're able to do this because you face the first analogy, you face the first steps of that learning, of that process, you know. And when you face this, you will know if you were able to adapt to that method. That's quite interesting. That's quite important step, you know. When you don't give up and you push yourself to face the first knowledge about that thing, you'll be able to understand about yourself. You will know about yourself if you're able to face that method or not. If you're working with you, if that method or that method is working with you or not, it's worth or not, you know. That's quite important because you see if you get it. And the last one in the curve, the last one is exactly when you know that you finish your process. Well, finally I know this one, and you take the guitar and you play, you know, simply, like it's quite easy, blah, and you sing and you play all at once, you know. It's when you get it. So in this curve, inside this curve, in this curse, our idea is just to help you to pass through this curve, to pass through this first difficulties. That's why we're here. Our channel is just you unlock your learning of English. When you unlock this, you'll be free to develop by yourself, and you'll be free to look for another tools on the web or courses. But our proposal, our idea, it's just unlock your English, and that's why we're here. Well, this difficult of learning English, it's quite common. I have another news for you. You're not alone. You know, our country is like a student that is trying to learn English but doesn't know how. So our country has the lowest level of numbers of English speakers as a second language. We are in a very low level of this. We are the worst of BRICS, you know, Brazil, Russia, Indian, South Africa, China. We're the lowest, we're the worst in terms of languages, English speakers as a second language. We're the worst one. So we're not alone. Our country is in the same situation. Example, the scholarships of our international students, most of the scholarship, the numbers of students that try to get the scholarship, apply to the scholarship, most of them try Spanish countries, the Spanish countries, and Portugal. Most of them look for this. Why? Because they're not able to face the language, they're not able to face the English, and that's a kind of big problem for our country, because we need a development in our students, in our professionals, in our technology. It depends to this. As the world will work in a harmony when everybody able to communicate with between themselves, and so we have to face this as a big problem that's quite serious. Actually, it's upside down in my opinion, because as Brazilians we have advantage, because English, the lexicon English is lexicon. The lexicon of English, it's 70% of Latin words, So the most of vocabulary, most of words in English is familiar for us, it's cognitive for us. It's a big advantage. There's another aspect very interesting about us as Brazilians. We are able to produce any kind of sounds, because our Portuguese is different of Portuguese from Portugal. Our Portuguese is a blending, a mixing of Indian language, French, Arabic, Tupi-Guarani, Indian language. So this mixing, this blending make us able to produce any kind of sound. So we are able to learn in language. If we make a kind of comparison to Brazilian speakers of language, of English, and Spanish ones, and Portugal one, it's easier to get the nationalities of Spanish ones and Portugal ones. The accent of Brazilian ones, it's a very good one, because it's not too much strong, it's more sensitive, It's very interesting. So we have these advantages. Also, we as a Brazilian, we are the nicest nationality in the world. If you try to get this information on the web, you get it. Try to look at the Google, the nicest nationalities in the world. Brazilians are one of the first one. Every American people is proud to say, well, I've got Brazilian friends. You Brazilian? Oh, cool! I've got Brazilian friends. We are naturally a nice nation, so we are able to communicate easily. I can't understand why we are so weak, why we are so bad in this term, in these skills of English as a second language speakers. Well, to help us, in order to help us, Jonas Tavares will help us to make a kind of bridge between the theory and the practice. He will help us to select what's most important, what's not so much important, what's the most usual for us. Jonas, tell us about your experience in the world and how you will help us.
Fala galera, oi André. Então, eu sou o Jonas Tavares, fui aluno do André também e sempre estudei em escola pública e tive a oportunidade de ir para os Estados Unidos, onde fiz um intercâmbio de um semestre em Minnesota, nos Estados Unidos, e lá as portas se abriram, consegui uma bolsa para ir para Xangai, na China, onde eu estudei por um ano e concluí o ensino médio por lá mesmo. E eu vou estar ajudando o canal e tentar fazer esse caminho, né, entre a teoria e a prática, e estar contando a minha experiência e ajudar no possível. É isso aí, valeu.
Thank you, Jonas. Well, as he said, a theory very interesting called the ideas, Pareto's theory of German, of managing, administrations, business. He's applied that there are kind of a numbering relation between the things in some terms, some things. The relation is 80-20. Example, when you try to make a kind of a public selection, you have 100% of contents to study, but only will getting the proof, getting the test, 20%. So 80% is a kind of trash on your mind, you know, it's not necessary to study so much things. So Jonas will help us to focus on the most important things in the 20% of the things, you know. Well, this relation is, we can apply this relation in every kind, in very different kinds of situations. And during this course, I will try to apply this idea, and you will understand better what's happening in this situation, in that situation. And that is what's happening in public schools. We study so much things that's not usual. You know, 80% of the things that we study in public school is not usual. It's not necessary. In this course, we will not we won't have things similar to the ordinary material of English, you know. Example, good morning, good afternoon. No, that's quite different, our way of studying. We will face the basic knowledge, and right after that, you will be able to get your, how can I say it? Get your freedom of learning. We unlock your knowledge. We unlock this basic knowledge, you know, vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and right after that you'll be free to choose another way to learn language. But the first step's right here. So like for us, share, comment, sign our channel. See you in the next one.